Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming. I am the majestic Snare and this is my disembodied voice. Feeling a little bit hyped. I'm trying not to be, but it's happening. E3 is one of those strange animals of the gaming industry that no matter how much you don't want to get sucked in by the hype, you end up just sitting there mouth agape at like some of the trailers and some of the content coming out of the convention. For those of you that don't know, that E3 is actually the kind of Christmas time of video games in the industry, where all the companies stand up on stage and shout and scream about how great their game is and how you should look forward to it and buy it and pre-order it, etc. Now let's be honest, a lot of the time E3 trailers are shite because they don't actually represent the game you're actually going to get at the end, and they get your pre-orders, they're happy, you're disappointed. Now let's just remember that as soon as these dates are announced, they're locked in, and they'll be pushing their staff through crunch periods to make these games happen. I know all this, and yet I love it. And I'll tell you why I love it. One of the reasons I love it is because it's a time to kind of celebrate and get anticipation for games that you really want to happen. And those people, some people in those companies, want to make the game well, wants to do a good job for you guys and me. So let's just talk about a couple of games that I found really quite interesting this time around, and I'm trying to keep it as I'm interested and not I'm so excited for it, it's going to be amazing. I want to be interested because what the final result is the thing that matters, not the previews, not the trailers, but the work that goes into the trailers to give you an idea of the vision of the game, how it plays, how it looks, what they're going for, who's going to be in it, all that stuff is really important. So first of all, you probably would have seen it on screen already, is the Cyberpunk 2077 trailer. It's a cinematic trailer, I get that. It's got Keanu Reeves in it, I get that. The guy's on a fucking wave of popularity right now from John Wick 3 and the John Wick series. I mean, he's obviously well known as Neo from The Matrix and Ted from Bill and Ted. So, do you know what? I think it's great, and I can't wait to get my teeth stuck into Cyberpunk. It's coming out in April next year. The game itself, it's got a good back catalogue and a good company standing up behind it of CD Projekt Red. Their quality has always been good, so I'm hoping that stands true to this game. But to be honest, I'm just over the moon that the game has now got a date, and hopefully we'll stick to it, and it'll be a fantastic event, potentially a game of the year next year. We can only hope. And I know I'm falling into the hype train, but I must say one thing, that it could be great. It's got the chance to be great, not just a good game. Do you know what I mean? So I really hold out a lot of hope for Cyberpunk 2077. That being said, a different angle of interest is with Watchdogs over at Ubisoft, the Watchdogs Legion. Now we've been burnt a number of times with Watchdogs at E3. The first game was just shown as a fantastic looking environment and game world, and it turned out to be a lot less impressive than that for console parity reasons of all things. Not very impressive at all, and they got a lot of flack for that. Watch Dogs 2 is a bit meh, but this one, letting you play as all characters in the game, you can recruit them, sign them up and start playing as them, and we're talking about anyone from fucking MI5, because it's set in the UK, in London, against a totalitarian regime, and you're building a popular resistance, but you can play as old grannies, like retired assassin old grannies. It's fucking inspired. If they can pull it off, it'll be amazing. I really will enjoy a game like that, but I just hold out a little bit of skepticism when it comes to Watch Dogs, because I don't think they've really got the full handle on how to make it a good game yet. Unfortunately, it's not something that they've managed to do as yet. So time will tell if that comes out to fruition and becomes a great game or not. Who knows? Now, a lot of people have been talking about Bethesda and their announcements and their, horrible whooping, cheering bloke in the audience that sounds like a fucking plant. On both senses of the word, actually. I really do think that people are overlooking two games that actually are pretty damn good looking and interesting in concepts. The first one is Doom Eternal. They were announced on the Bethesda conference stage, and oh my god, I mean, the gameplay looks exactly what you want from a Doom game. It's got frenetic, fast-paced guns and gore galore. It's what I think Doom fans love, and it's got a multiplayer version that's kind of like Evolve was, where you've got one demon player and then 2 sort of good human players. It could be amazing, but as always with these things, time will tell when it pops out, and is it any good? Great. If it's not, fair enough, but looks interesting, looks well made so far. I just hope it's going to stand up to the test of the fans. The other one was Ghostwire Tokyo, which is to do with, well, it's only a cinematic trailer, but it's interesting in concept. People vanishing, bit supernatural, ninja-y, Japanese themed in Tokyo. It could be amazing, and I'm positive about games coming out of E3, because I'm thinking you're going to stand up on stage and say this is our game. If it's a shit game, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, but it might be just a way to make people buy your pre-order. I do accept that, but it does look like an interesting concept. Sort of supernatural battles. It could be like a modern day Onimusha, which is a game I fucking loved back on the PS2 days. I loved Onimusha. So it has got that kind of Onimusha feel to it, with people sort of vanishing, not quite Onimusha, but you know what I mean. It's got potential. It's definitely got potential. And there's also some other smaller games. One of the games I did spot, I thought that could be fun, was Roller Champions from Ubisoft. That was a game where it's basically a mashup of Speedball 2 back on the Amiga days, Rocket League, and a roller derby. So if you kind of put those things together, it looks fast-paced, it looks interesting. I want to sort of know more about it, and I think you can actually download a free E3 demo, a pre-alpha demo. So we'll get to see if that's any good. But yeah, it could be very interesting. Yeah. I'm in that moment right now. I've just been back in the country a few hours, to be fair, from some time off, and I'm in a space where all of the content coming out, I haven't got enough time to watch it all, even the condensed versions. But I wanted to get this video out to you guys to kind of show that there is not just a load of crap coming out of E3 this year, and it might be worth your time to go and research it, do a bit of YouTubing, a bit of safaring, to find out if there's any games that are up your street, because just keep an eye on these kind of things. We can do it for you, of course, here at Overbite Gaming, but it's important if you're actually going to make a buying decision to do your research. And at the moment, there's not many games that you can go, oh, get that. The only one I would suggest thinking about would be Cyberpunk. But I want to sort of say, don't do pre-orders. That's something I do want to say. Pre-orders are a bit of a scourge, and they're going to end up with disappointing results if we just end up buying before we've even seen it. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I haven't even looked at the major players like Nintendo or Sony, and even Xbox, because I don't have an Xbox myself. But just looking at kind of the potential PC kind of aspect, it looks good. I mean, it doesn't look like they're all just pushing for microtransactions on the face of it for these games. It does seem to be focused on a lot of single-player journeys, a lot of kind of interactive modes, but not the main reason for the game being alive. There's updates to For Honor, there's updates to Ghost Recon, there's updates to Division 2 anyway. So there's lots of bits. I mean, including the Division movie. I mean, that's something could be very interesting. But there's a lot of stuff going on that I think, do you know what? E3 2019 is turning out to be quite a good one. Whether we get to see some other stuff like after E3 from these companies, or they're going to leave it till closer to the release date, who knows? But I think the amount of content we're getting is actually quite a good selection. Certainly for a gamer like me, for that single player adventure and single player kind of experience, rather than just the next fucking FIFA or the next Call of Duty, fucking woo. Who cares? It's going to be the same game. But pushing those boundaries, getting involved with a few new franchises, actually being original, there's seeds there. There's seeds there. So let me know what you think down in the comments about E3 this year. Do you think it's something that is it just a damp squib to you? or is there stuff you're like really psyched for and hope that they actually do it well? What's your kind of rating out of 10 for E3 this year? Let me know down in the comments. And obviously, if you did like what you've heard here today, then drop us a like, maybe even subscribe, become part of the Overbite family, and check us out again. We do videos every Wednesday and Saturday. So, yeah, that's all for me. I'm going to stop talking now because my throat's going to give out. So, that was pleasant. So, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.